First up, I'm delighted to welcome Morgan McAllister, Marketing Manager, Invisible Systems. Morgan is responsible for developing strategy, brand and communications. Her experience in B2B marketing, both in-house and agency side within a range of industries, has enabled her to bring a fresh perspective to the Invisible Systems team. Morgan, you're very welcome, and you will be discussing using smart technology to protect our planet.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yes, so as introduced, I'm Morgan McAllister. I'm the marketing manager here at Invisible Systems. I've been with the company for just over a year and a half now, and I'm going to speak to you today about how we use smart technology to protect our planet and how more companies can incorporate IoT into their net zero journey. So briefly, a little bit of background about Invisible Systems. Invisible Systems have been in the Internet of Things space since it was before it was even coined into the Internet of Things. Pete Thompson, our CEO, founded the company 18 years ago and was very much focused on delivering machine-to-machine solutions. Today, we obviously focus on IoT, and we have offices in Milnthorpe, which is in the Lakes District, and Manchester City Centre, and that's where I have the pleasure of joining you from today. We're currently at a team of 25 and have some really ambitious growth plans. So it's a really exciting time. Our IoT solutions are very much end-to-end. We provide our clients with everything they require to monitor critical assets, their environments, and they do this remotely. We do everything from the initial survey through to the ongoing installations and regular customer care calls to make sure they're supported. Each year, we invest over £500,000 into research and development so that we can provide our clients with the best possible solutions. We're constantly evolving and adapting to meet the needs of our sectors, the ones that we support, and to provide cutting-edge technology. And at the moment, that's very much taking us into the carbon emissions sector. The technology itself that we develop is very much developed internally, both our hardware and software. And we're also able to integrate third-party solutions with our own systems for the convenience of those who might already have an existing IoT infrastructure. So back to the real focus of the topic, the environment. Sir David Attenborough said, "Never before have we had such an awareness that of what we're doing to the planet, and never before have we had the power to do something about that." Surely, we all have a responsibility to care for our blue planet. The future of humanity, and indeed all of life on Earth, now depends on us. And COP26 has really highlighted the commitment of leaders around the globe to tackle climate change. But in order for us to reach any of those targets, they really need support and, more importantly, action from businesses like us. In the UK, we're taking responsibility by announcing the world's most ambitious climate change target. We're aiming to reduce our emissions by an incredible 78% in comparison to 1990 levels by 2035. In Ireland, there's been a commitment of a 45% reduction in the same period. As businesses, it's really essential that we wholeheartedly commit and play our part in achieving these targets. And as Sir David said, we all have this responsibility to care. So how can you do that, and how is Invisible Systems relevant to this topic and your environmental goals? Well, we're enabling our clients to massively reduce their carbon emissions through the use of IoT. We work with some industry giants such as Greggs, Balfour Beatty and the NHS, to name just a few. For these leading organisations, the Internet of Things is already playing a vital role in their journey to net zero. They're using smart sensors to remotely monitor energy, utilities, temperature, humidity, CO2 levels, occupancy, water temperatures, vibration, and air quality. And I've probably missed a few off this slide. Our clients are then able to access all of this information via a simple, user-friendly dashboard, and we call this real-time online. But how does that help the environment? By having access to all of this data remotely, our clients only visit site when they know they really need to. This significantly reduces site visits, meaning reduced travel and reduced carbon emissions. You can see all of your sites, whether they're in the same county or in completely different countries, via the same dashboard. Using data from the smart sensors, they're then able to monitor patterns in energy usage and take action when it's really needed. This not only enables emissions to be reduced, but makes the organisation as a whole more aware of what they're doing, and most importantly, the people that work within it. They're therefore accountable for their behaviours and the impact that their energy usage is having on the environment. In the case of predictive maintenance, IoT has helped to prevent high levels of energy usage in repairing or even replacing broken critical assets. Using techniques such as vibration monitoring, our clients are able to predict when an asset is likely to falter and take action before it can have an impact on their business. Real-time online is completely configurable by the user, and we're currently in the process of developing carbon dashboards to give complete visibility on the environmental impact of the business. So I've touched upon a range of ways in which IoT technology is capable of protecting our planet. But you may question the scale of the impact on some of the topics that I've touched upon and what effect they can actually have. Well, using IoT is predicted to make a significant difference on the world's journey to net zero. By 2030, it's thought that IoT will save more than 8 times the energy it consumes, reduce water usage by 230 billion cubic meters, reduce carbon emissions by 1 gigaton, and to give some perspective on that figure, that's the equivalent of over 217 million passenger vehicles being driven for a whole year. 217 million passenger vehicles is around 20% of all of the world's passenger vehicles. And it's thought that it's going to reduce electricity consumption by 1.6 petawatt hours. And that's enough to support 136.5 million homes for an entire year. My next few slides are really going to look at IoT in action and how our clients are using the solutions. It demonstrates how different solutions are used within different sectors and what their impacts are on the planet. I think the construction industry is a really key sector for reducing carbon emissions, as it's responsible for 11% of emissions globally. Because of this, we developed EcoLink. EcoLink is a state-of-the-art energy management system. It remotely monitors and controls energy consumption across construction sites in order to deliver carbon savings. It monitors everything from the heating of cabins to the kettle being switched on, and even electric vehicle charging points, and switches them on and off to reduce peak demands. We've worked really closely with Balfour Beatty to develop EcoLink in order to maximise its effect on the planet. And to date, Balfour have rolled out EcoLink on 25 sites and have plans for further rollout. In some scenarios, they've experienced carbon savings of up to 83% on their sites and have been able to reduce their generator size by about 30%. Michael Flood, who was previously the energy manager for Balfour Beatty, said, "Within 6 months, EcoLink resulted in 83% reduction in carbon emissions across our East Road coastal defence project. Once fully embedded, EcoLink will save a minimum of 2,200 tonnes of carbon dioxide emissions every year." In a completely different sector, in social housing, we're helping to educate residents on their energy usage. This has helped to reduce mould growth within homes, reduce costs for both the tenant and landlord, and has really reduced the overall impact of those homes on the environment. Less energy is being used within the homes, and therefore mould production is reduced. And this has a knock-on effect as less repairs are carried out and less travel is required. Another effect that is to consider is the health of the residents, and therefore they've kind of got reduced doctor's appointments, reduced hospital appointments, and their effect on the environment as individuals is much less. And finally, we're really proud to have supported the NHS throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the ways in which we've been able to do this is through the monitoring the temperature of vaccine fridges and freezers. With this solution in place, NHS teams have been able to prevent unnecessary loss of vaccines due to small mistakes such as leaving fridge doors open or even turning them off at the switch. In turn, this has prevented the need to dispose of vaccine stock and the energy and the use of energy required to do so. Reduced stock means that there's less additional vaccine production, and there's no more additional transport required to get those additional vaccines to site. Using real-time online, the teams have also been able to significantly reduce their paper record keeping as everything's digitalised. So the use of both IoT has direct and indirect benefits when we consider our journey to net zero. It's a really cost-effective solution, which in the majority of circumstances is able to effectively demonstrate its return on investment. As a plug-and-play solution, it's one that can be rolled out across so many businesses, across so many sectors, as a short-term action that has a really long-term impact. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be more than happy to take them. Thank you.
Morgan, McAllister, Visible Systems, thank you very much. Yeah, we're dealing with questions as they come in, and we'll bring them up at the panel discussion at the end of this session. Ireland's 45% reduction in carbon footprint by 2030 is probably ambitious. Maybe it's not ambitious enough, but maybe it's something we'll discuss at the panel discussion. So thank you for your input and your insights.